Today's question is, how do I find inner peace and calmness? I could give a long explanation, but basically you just realize that inner peace and calmness is always within you regardless of what's going on up here. There's always some inner peace and calmness in you somewhere. I like how I've heard transcendental meditation explained. Is that, your wacky brain activity, your monkey mind stuff that's just running rampant. It's like the waves of the ocean. It's like the top of the ocean that's all rough waters. And if you just drop down beneath, it's perfectly smooth. Perfectly smooth and easy. Aside from the sharks that are going to eat you. That's always in you somewhere. However calm you want to be, that version of you already exists. You could say, oh no, I'm trying to get to that state. But what happens when you do that, when you say, I'm trying to get to calmness, is that calmness becomes something that you're striving for, that you're moving toward, that I have to grab this thing. And it does this really weird self-defeating process that I still can't totally articulate. You get frustrated with yourself about the fact that you're not calm, and then that makes you less calm. The pursuit of calmness can almost be a step away from calmness. And when you just accept, especially you got some crazy thoughts going on. Okay, I got some crazy thoughts going on in my head right now. My muscles are tight. My body's sore. Okay, my muscles are tight and my body's sore. These life circumstances around me are happening. This stuff that's really distressing, fine. Distressing life circumstances are happening around me. It's the counterintuitive acceptance of those things that helps you find that state of calm. I think calm and peace might just be the natural state of things in general. But so much outer conditioning causes us to move away from it. Letting go of the things that I want. And that's so hard because I still haven't figured out this paradox of existing, that finding some level of personal success and self-betterment is a real key to fulfillment. And if you're trying to be a way that you are not currently, if you're trying to force yourself to be different, you're setting yourself up for misery, because you can only be exactly the way that you are at any given time. So you both have to strive to move in the direction of self-improvement while also kind of being okay with the fact that you're not improving at this given moment. Just acceptance, radical acceptance of who you are and what's going on. Everything. Just radical acceptance of the way that things are, because everything is exactly the way that it's supposed to be. And even as I say that, I get a little bit jittery. I can think of 1,700 counter arguments that I can give to that as to why I shouldn't be okay with the way things are. But that's just a great example of ego biting at you, saying, no, change this, change this, change this. I think a lot of the reason why we have problems of anxiety and sleep disorders is that our brain does not know when it's time to give it a rest, when it's time to stop trying, when it's time to let the solution go. Let that go too. Stop striving for one. Even if it's a solution that you desperately need. Can you do that? In a situation that requires it, can you just take any answer off the table? And then it's ironically that space and that silence that allows those answers to come creeping back in. How many stories have we heard about people that drove themselves up a wall trying to figure something out and then gave up and then just went on with their lives, and then life taught them something? Just swerved out of nowhere, and it gave them that answer that they were racking their brain to find. Peace and calm is important to return to. Now, I don't know if there is value in overactive thinking and anxiety, and I still haven't quite figured that one out either. I think that I have some really fantastic insights into the way things are from those higher elevated states. But I have to remember that those are only valuable against the backdrop of the quiet and stillness that I can also find. It's like I need to, it's the classic, you got to plug in the phone for a while because otherwise it will, run itself into the ground. Everything requires some level of recharge. There is no such thing as perpetual energy. Such a cliche, but it really is just following the breath to start with. And you can use that to anchor you wherever you are. And you become more and more aware of the sensations around you, and awareness coupled with acceptance of those things. That's how I find my peace and my calm.